It's a little bit chilly. The water is a little bit cool when you first jumped in, right? But it's a warm day, ladies. It's a fine, warm Sunday. How are you today? I just got a new pair of goggles that I will use to do my laps. I love doing laps, and I haven't been able to do that this year because my old goggles broke. So I gotta wait for the new pair. So here it is. I love my pool. Didn't I tell you that? It's just so nice. And the water is so inviting. And since we changed the pool company, I get to hear the sound of falling water again down my infinity pool. I just love it. I love it. So ladies, if you come for a day intensive with me, you can do it in the pool and in the hot tub, my famous hot tub. Or you can also come for full moon weekend package, or can be weekday or weekend, doesn't matter, because I live in a timeless state of mind, which means that every day is kind of the same for me. Doesn't matter Monday, Tuesday, or weekends. Doesn't make any difference for me. So that's how I live my life these days, ladies. So say hello when you just arrive. I just see one person here. Say your name and where you are in the world. I hope one day when this is over, I don't know when it's going to be over, but my bet is probably the next 2 years, things will escalate further for the revelations of corruption in the world, right? Especially in our country, the United States, but also all over the world. This is a period of intense apocalypse, revelations of crimes against humanity by the cabal or the deep state. So, but today we're not going to talk about it, because you know what? I'm not allowed to talk about any subject other than perhaps dating and relationship. But even that, I got so restricted, people don't notice me anymore. That's the story of my life these days. I have overextended my welcome on Facebook, but I'm still here. So might as well just make the best of it, right? So today I want to talk about something, how we as a woman or as a human being in general, we need to surrender to our journey, finding ourselves, finding what works and what doesn't work for us, right? Because we hear a lot of advice in the dating world say, for example, one advice that actually I don't disagree with, right? You need to be with a man who likes you more than you like him. That's for example. Because if a man likes you more than you like him, it will ensure that you naturally create a gap in which he will invest into the relationship. So this is why women need to lean back. Lean back is to create a gap so a man can step up his game. If you are always the one who initiate, who asks him out for a date, who calls him, texts him 24/7, who's always curious where he is, what he's been doing, how his day was. And he's never given a chance to wonder about you, to miss you, then naturally he's gonna sit back. He's not gonna court you because you already do the courting. So you understand the principle, right? And it happens usually, or most of all the time, when a man so attracted to a guy, probably more so than he's attracted to you. But sometimes in the beginning, the level of attraction toward each other is equal. Over time, though, we take over because we get impatient, because we get anxious, and because we feel that we deserve more and he's not doing his job, right? And as a result, we lean forward so much, we don't lean back. We do the pursuing, and he's sitting on his ass. Is that familiar to you? I bet it is. So we were told, because probably in the old days, that's how our grandmothers or great-grandmothers do it as well. They basically just, wait around until a man who finds them attractive, finds them and courts them, right? And because of that, most of our great-grandmother's relationships are always with the man that love and value them more than the other way around at first. And while I agree with that, the reality is, especially in the modern world, we cannot help who we are attracted to, right? And you cannot just tell, for example, young people, you should date this kind of profile of a man instead of just the hot, handsome ones. Well, the problem is we are attracted to the hot, handsome ones. The older, bold guys with money just doesn't attract us at all. So what are we supposed to do? So my advice to you is just surrender to your journey. Embrace your journey wherever you are. If right now, at your mileage, at your age, whatever your age is, you're more attracted toward the jock type of guy, right? The athletic, tall, dark, handsome, the hot tropes that women adore, then it is what it is. So if there are men available who also happen to be attracted to you, who fall into that category, I think it's unrealistic for you to say no to that, because you need the experience to really understand why, certain kind of men work better for you than the other types, which is the current guys that you are attracted to. You need the experience, so you cannot be told. You need to just date men with money, for example. I never dated men with money because I was never attracted to them. Not that I'm anti-money, but for me, if I'm going to date someone, I have to be very physically attracted to them, right? It's the same with men too. They have to be very physically attracted to us for it to even to launch. So, would you resist that? No, I don't advise you not to. So instead of resisting it and just following a formula that other people lay out, you should just walk your path. You traverse your own path, your own journey in life. Do you understand what I'm saying? So right now, I'm only attracted to the jocks type. That was my type too when I was dating. I only dated very handsome guys, by the way. So, but it didn't always materialize into a long or healthiest relationship. I'm the first to admit, but that was part of the necessary discovery for me to evolve to be the person that I am today. So as I said, don't resist it. If you're just attracted to, the handsome ones, then you're gonna date the handsome ones if they find you attractive, right? And then you just let the chips fall where they may. Surrender to the journey, surrender to the process, and of course with my sacred guidance. Over time, after experiencing all kind of men that appeal to you physically, you begin to notice, if there is a second chance next time, probably I would hold back a little bit on this physical chemistry. Because just being told, run the opposite direction if you find like very strong chemistry with someone. No. What about just walk the walk? Traverse the path. That's what you need to do. Let life show you where the lesson is. And it will show you. So after probably years of you, quote unquote, wasting time with the handsome types who don't, who provide little else in terms of other things, especially, for example, materialism, then your preference will naturally shift from insane chemistry into other considerations naturally, because you're no longer attracted to just physical appearance. Now you also include other things, maybe his temperament, his values, his emotional intelligence, his education perhaps, or his intellectualism, right? Or other things other than just looks. It all takes experience. So wherever you are in your journey, as I say, embrace it. But you can do it with my guidance. The person that you're dating now, or the person you're marrying, you're married to now, might not be the person you gonna grow old with together, and that is okay. It's okay. I married the wrong person too, and a lot of us had that experience and needed to have that experience. So whatever happened in your life, it happened because it needed to happen. It happened because you needed the experience. You needed the lesson. Right? Isn't true, Nikki? What have your experience been, Han? I see you, Nikki. So, instead of living lives with regrets, with what ifs, what about just embracing your truth moment to moment? My truth right now is I'm very drawn toward this guy, even though he's broke, or maybe he has temper issues, but I'm very drawn to him, right? So there is obviously a lesson in it that I have to learn. So when you learn the lesson, you will, let's say, you could care less if the relationship lasts or not. You just needed to learn the lesson. And if it wasn't that great, the relationship, you would naturally fall out of love. And the relationship will run its course. Yeah? So, I don't believe there is one single person in the whole world who knows from the get-go that they're doing the right thing being in the relationship with this person or that person. I don't think nobody knows until after the fact. Even though my parents, they have been married for 58 years now, right? Well, then again, you cannot compare our, dating and love lives of the modern day with that one of my parents, which were in the 60s. And they married basically because of necessity. I told you before that my mother had to marry because her parents, her mother especially, told her, you're not going to school, you are over 18 now, You're just a burden to the family. So you need to get out of the house and marry someone and be part of that family, your new family. So we don't have to feed you no more. Yeah, I know it sounds very brutal, right? Very cold. Well, she was one of the 12 children. So naturally, it was hard economically for her parents. So that was the only reason she married my dad. Right? It's not like today, or you have a long laundry list that you need to check if you want to marry someone. My mom at that time, my dad was available, he was attracted to her, and she had to marry someone because she was already got the memo from her mother, so then they married. My mom was 19 when she married, and my dad was 20, and they're still together 58 years later, even though it's obviously not all rainbow and sunshine all those 58 years. There was, I think, a period in which my parents just dislike each other because when you've been with someone for decades, you kind of like up to your neck dealing with their stuff, right? It doesn't matter who you are. When you've been with someone long enough, both of you cannot really cannot really veil who you truly are. Your true colors will show up on both ends, not just him, but also you. And your level of patience to want to deal with the same recurring bullshit over and over again is getting diminished by the day. That is part of the spiritual journey of a relationship. I think after my dad's close encounter to death in 2023, in which he had brain hemorrhage, that could very well be caused by the vaccine, the COVID vaccine that he took. I think their relationship get better, because they realize they probably, they need each other, even though they get into each other's skin very much before the incident. Now they realize they're gonna be with each other for the rest of their lives. So they might as well just, be nicer to each other, be more tolerant of each other. You see, yeah, that is part of spiritual journey, part of growth, right? So in the old days, our parents didn't have that kind of experience that we do today, because times just change. Situations are different. By the way, I want to introduce our new baby. His name is Harry P. for Harry Potter. Not Potter, but Harry Potter. Harry P. P also for polar bear. He's a very adorable, affectionate baby. Yes, he's up for adoption, even though I think I'm gonna cry like a baby if I have to let him go, because I already grow attached to him. I mean, he sleeps with me. But it's very hard for us to maintain to existence, because our second dog, Sir Maximus Lebowski, the brown dog, doesn't like other dogs other than his sister or lover, Susie. So right now, they cannot be in the same room at the same time. If he's out, for example, Max is inside. If Max is out, he is inside. So it's very hard to maintain that kind of separate living quarters with dogs. So probably I will have to give him up. But I love him so much, and he's so adorable, so affectionate. So if you are interested in adopting my baby, Harry P., we are in California, San Diego, California, then PM me. Because I cannot take him back to the shelter. It will break his heart. By the way, back to our conversation, right? So today, you know, a lot of us, we think we meet someone. Oh, I knew from the get-go that he's going to be like, he's the love of my life, love at the first sight, blah 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 blah, and then 5 years later or however long, then you divorce. That is okay too. Just embrace, as I said, embrace your journey. Everyone will be different. So there is no need for regrets. Instead of regretting, learn the lesson. Learn the lesson, right? If the lesson for you is to stop putting so much stock on looks, for example, right? But also next time around, you'll be also considering his physical fitness, for example. That is the lesson you need to learn. So instead of regretting your mistake, what about celebrating the lesson that you learned? Yes, some lessons are mighty expensive, but it happened because it was supposed to happen. Trust in that. So don't live your life with what could have been, what if, should have, could have. You're killing your own sparkles when you're doing that to yourself, living in regrets, right? So having lived, for example, with a broke man, and it's not working, for example, then the next time you want someone who is more financially secure. You know what I'm saying? Then you will be less attracted toward the kind of thing that attracted you more the last time. And it happens naturally, not because some coach tells you this, tells you that. But there are, of course, women who are gold diggers from the get-go. But then that is also their journey. They are wired to be attracted to money. They are wired to be attracted to guys with a lot of wealth. Doesn't matter how they look. I personally cannot do that. So if you are attracted to that, embrace it as well, right? Because you're living your life, you're living your relationship. That's the type of man that attracts you. You could care less about the looks. You could care less about sex. Then that's who you are. Other people can judge you, but you live your own life. You live your own relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying, ladies? So, for more advice like this, more wisdom like this, sign up for my fan subscriptions or the monthly membership. Okay, the fan subscription is actually $99 still, and you can access the entire library of 333 classes. That is not available anywhere else in terms of illuminated content, in terms of emotional intelligence and wisdom. Okay, but the thing is, I'm so restricted by Facebook, so a lot of time people cannot access the link because it's on purpose. And if for people who are already in the fan subscription are being kicked out by Facebook, so if you cannot access the link, I have another way. It will be more expensive, but still so much cheaper than what is available in the market. $127 for minimum 3 months, which is also the cost of my monthly membership. What is the difference between monthly membership and fan subscription? In fan subscriptions, as long as you are a member, you can access the library of the previous content. Today is 333 classes covering all subjects under the sun. It's incredible value that is not available anywhere else in the juggernaut or on the face of the planet Earth. Seriously. And you also get live coaching once a month through the Facebook page. If you are in the monthly membership, you get once a month interactive coaching with me with a platform similar to Zoom, so it's more interactive, and you get to keep the recording. Right now, my class is usually $167 per class, so you save a lot of money. You can keep the content. You will want to revisit it months or years, or maybe, you know, have your daughters also listen to it, listen to them one day, right? And you need minimum 3 months there, but you have no access to the library of 333 classes, which is fine, because a lot of some ladies prefer just to keep the recording so they can get away. When they quit, they get something. When you are in the fan subscriptions, when you quit, you only you don't get to keep any recording, but you've learned so much as well. So it's different. Both are appealing depending on your needs. So if you cannot access the fan subscription link, you will have to subscribe through the monthly membership. Then I'm gonna make you editors of my page to access the fan subscription content. I know, but it has to be this way, that way right now. Or you can also email me with questions, what classes will be suitable for you, because I also have individual classes that you can purchase other than programs, and all are, again, very affordable compared to what is available in the market. And of course, you know what you get from, I think it stops. It stops. Oh, sorry, I think I got cut off. So what you got from me comes from the one and only Man Whisperer and the Last Resort, aka the Rainmaker in the relationship niche, who happens to be also the last genetic match to Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, and also been proclaimed the rightful heir to the throne of David, because David and Bathsheba, King David's wife, are my direct ancestors. So yeah, it's going to be very biblical what's happening in the next 2 years, ladies. So pay attention, and don't forget to follow me, even though probably a lot of people have forgotten about me, because I'm very invisible right now. So right now, I still want to address you, my faithful followers, whoever you are, like Nikki. She's my lovely doll client. So anyway, it's nice talking to you.